just inside the Beltway, about 10 miles east of the Capitol Dome as we come to you from FedEx Field here in Landover. Today, it's a Week 9 matchup set to go here between the Minnesota Vikings and the Washington Commanders. The first 2 months of the regular season down. What will the final 2 bring us as we're off in Week 9? And here comes a return from a few steps into the end zone. And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22. Here's Gibson to start the drive. And not much doing there. Maybe a yard up to the 23.
Well, sometimes you just have to give credit to the defense. Great job there at the point of attack, holding up. They won their battles at the line of scrimmage, left him no space to try and run. Really nice job swarming to the ball carrier.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Now the former 4th-round pick, it's Kalen Ballage. And he'll take it forward for about 5 up to the 28-yard line.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
And they'll look to avoid an early 3 and out here on 3rd and 4. Wentz going to bat this forward on the jet sweep. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 13 yards there and a Washington first.
And that's something you have to get ready for defensively, because in today's NFL, teams will use their wide receivers on jet sweeps, end arounds. They'll move them back in the backfield and make them running backs. Partner, this was much more of a tap pass, but effective nonetheless.
And I think both guys love it. If you're a quarterback, it's an easy completion. If you're a wide receiver, you get the easy reception and also a chance to try to make a play with your feet. They run it with Ballage, running right through him. And he'll be taken down just shy of midfield. A solid run on 1st down, gain of 7, leaves him with a 2nd and 3. You often say that sort of opens the playbook now, 2nd and short. What do you think, early shot here?
I like where you're going. Obviously, we've been together for a while, because you know me. I want to take that shot early and loosen things up.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. Now Wentz on the bootleg. He'll buy some time right. This one complete to Curtis Samuel. And this is going to turn into another 1st down as the tackle is made at the Vikings 35. A solid gain of 15 yards and the sticks move. From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10 at the 35-yard line. A handoff running left is Gibson. And able to get this to the 24-yard line. They began the play at the 12. It's also a pickup of 12 for the 1st down.
And that's a run that'll energize an offensive line. They'll take that one all day long. Fundamental breakdown by the defense. You've got to be able to make plays on the edge.
On 1st down, right back to Gibson. They'll get him to the ground at the 20 following a pickup of 4.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice gain like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now, because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
On 2nd down, a run with Gibson. And a couple of yards as they move it from the 21 to the 19.
Not a big run, not an explosive run, but they've held the ball for plenty of plays on this drive. They're just trying to impose their will on the defense right now.
Play number 9 now on this pretty long opening drive, but this is third down. Now Wentz. Able to connect with Dotson. Touchdown, Washington. Jahan Dotson. His 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Commanders get the upper hand as they're on the board first here this afternoon. Extra point by Sly is up and good, and it's now a 7-0 game. Kick team out there for the Commanders as they send this one away. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. They start the drive with Cook, and not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up the score.
They go play action. Cousins sliding out of the pocket. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game.
It's been a lot of extra time preparing for this game watching this offensive line because they gave up 5 sacks last week in their runs. They just gave up another one now. They don't seem to be working together as a cohesive unit. Right? 4 guys might have it right, but the 5th guy is giving something up. They've got to find a way to all get on the same page.
And they work this well upfield across the 45. A big play there as they get the conversion on 3rd and 13.
I know at the end of games, coaches always tell us that no one play won or lost a game. But this seems pretty important early, doesn't it? Their ability to pick up that first down on 3rd down, I thought that was key.
Well, you're already in the hole after the touchdown on the other side. How will you respond? We talk about that a lot, and they responded pretty well there. You go 3 and out, I think you give up a lot of momentum. You get down 2 scores, could be an entirely different game.
So they've got a nice drive going now. They're in good shape. What's interesting to me is they're also in that spot of the field where you would take a shot. Do you change that up just because you're down a touchdown?
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Here's Cousins. But he cannot avoid the pressure as the Washington pass rush gets home. There's Jamin Davis, the former Kentucky Wildcat, bringing the pressure that time. So they'll make that a 2nd sack for them on this drive.
And Brandon, we hear every week when we go to do a game, everyone talks about playing complementary football. Their offense goes down and scores. They see that, and they want to back them up, and that they did, getting 2 sacks on this first drive.
Looking for Thielen, but it's intercepted. And the Commanders are going to take over at their own 41. And this, Charles, definitely not what they were wanting to see. Remember, he threw 3 interceptions in the loss last week, and now he gives the ball away again here in the very first quarter.
And you have to think that this was drilled into him all week, too, by his teammates, by his coaching staff. They've told him all week long, we've got to protect the football. They probably crossed that fine line with giving him the right advice and saying it too much. And it turned out that it got into his head a little bit.
So the completion results there in 9 yards. And that'll give him a short yardage situation here for 2nd down. Balaj. And he is is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. He winds up giving a yard back there, and now it's 3rd and 2.
With his size, he's a tough man to bring down, but they do a nice job there stopping his progress and not allowing him to get back to the line of scrimmage.
They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. Again, it's Balaj. And he's going to have a first down as he's brought down at the 44-yard line. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. On first down, Wentz. That's out to the flat for Gibson. And a loose football. And the Vikings pick up the football. There are 2 words that we hear coaches say all of the time. One starts with a B, one starts with an S. Ball security.
And they preach it. They have it up in meeting rooms, right? You see the signs. They talk about it all the time. But still, when you've got defenders out there who are preaching, hey, we're going to take the ball away from you, no matter what position you play, you've got to take care of the rock.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. As the offense comes out here, Charles, maybe perhaps a bit more of a focus on the run game for this drive after tossing an interception on the previous one?
Oh, I think that's a good way to look at it and a good way to think about it, but maybe they get to it in a little bit different way, because after you throw an interception, you want to make sure you keep your quarterback's confidence high. So maybe give him a couple easy throws that he can complete, and then get to the running game and try and get things settled down.
Yeah, it's still in the first half here. A long way to go. Now they need 15 yards on this series after the delay of game. 1st and 15. Cook following the penalty. And he'll go down at the 26 following a gain of 6.
Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball. But when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace him.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. Here's Cook again. And he is going to lose yardage here. They wind up losing a couple there, so they go behind the original line of scrimmage. And then 3rd and 11 coming up. Plays like we just saw there. That's why they're up right now. The defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we got built from the inside out, because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage.
No gain on the play there. A nice job defensively, and it likely forces a punt situation on 4th. Now, last week in the loss, 5 punts as he gets this one away. A great return there of 22 yards. And it will be Washington football now with a 1st and 10. The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. 4-4 their record through 8 games on the season. Would you say that this team has overperformed, underperformed, or are they kind of right where you thought that they would be?
Do you mind if I say yes, yes, and yes? Because ultimately to me, 4-4 is about where they should be, because we've seen weeks where they've been really, really good. They've looked terrific. Other weeks where we've wondered, just how good is this team. They want to be consistent in their play, not consistently inconsistent, which is what they've been thus far.
They fake the give. Now Wentz. Escaping the pressure right. This is brought in by Gibson. And he's going to be taken down at about the 33.
And I like the idea here. Get the ball in his hands, even if it's in the passing game. 3 catches a week ago, and he does a nice job here to pick up yardage.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. A give up the middle to Gibson. And he stopped immediately there. Tackle there by Lewis Seen.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked by the linebacker, Brian Asamoah. And the Vikings are going to take over once again with a football at their own 20-yard line. So this defense coming up with a takeaway, and maybe that's something that can bring a little life to that sideline.
Well, I don't want to say that they've been sleepwalking through this first half because that's simply not true, but you're right. We haven't seen a lot of...
Looking for Thielen, but it's intercepted. Picked by Kendall Fuller, and he is going to bring this back inside the 20 to the 18-yard line. And they'll take possession already in the red zone and in a great spot to add points to the scoreboard.
And Brandon, how many times have we seen a defense with a lot of field behind them get even more aggressive, right? They feel like they've got them not pinned down, but in a favorable spot for them. And they took advantage of it there, got a nice interception, and set up their offense in great shape.
And he's wrapped up, taken down, back at the 25. The linebacker Jordan Hicks flying in there for the sack. And it's never good to take a sack. You really don't want to take one down here in this part of the field down near the red zone.
Not at all, because you're already pretty much assured of a field goal. But you take a big sack, it could push you out of range, and that's why defenses get a little more aggressive in this situation. They're almost conceding the 3 points. They want to push you back and try and take you out of that.
It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a 3rd down. They haven't made much of this great starting field position they had. Here's 3rd and 6. Wentz going to throw. That is caught inside the 5. And the Commanders are going to have 1st and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points.
And in a lot of ways, that catch is expected. Red zone presence. And that one was realized there. You've got to find your tight end in that situation.
Balaj. So that time they got the left guard with a hold.
And let's face it, in today's ball, you might have that 330-pound guy you're supposed to clear out of there. You might need a little bit of extra help by grabbing the jersey and trying to ride him out.
A terrible spot for a holding call as they'll try again, but now from further back on 1st and goal. Straight ahead, Gibson. He's taken down at the 7 after a gain of 7. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him, so when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
Second down and goal. Wentz. They're looking for McLaurin, but this is intercepted. And he will take this across midfield and down to the 48-yard line. 1:54 left on the clock here in quarter number 2. Following the interception, Cousins. A quick throw there going to be batted away and incomplete.
That incompletion certainly slows things down a little bit and brings up a very important call for 2nd and long. What do? Run and try and get some yardage and make it 3rd manageable? Or challenge the coverage again, hoping for a bigger gain?
And a dangerous throw there as that's knocked down and incomplete.
It's big completions on 1st and 2nd down. It certainly seems like a reflection of what we've seen so far in this game. The defense clicking to the punch so far. Let's see if they can get something going here on 3rd down.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. From the gun, here's Cousins. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. William Jackson with a pick. And the Commanders are going to take possession here at their own 33. Well, I'm not sure that the wheels, Charles, are coming completely off, but they're shaking a little bit. That's 3 interceptions, and now interceptions here on back-to-back drives.
And I think about what a Hall of Fame coach told me that he always told his teams, when a mistake happens, just move on to the next play. Let it go. Hard to do when you throw this many interceptions. That's exactly the attitude that has to be adopted.
Out there set ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. And 2 interceptions already here in this first half. That's got to affect him a little bit, right? He's got to be thinking about it.
He's got to be thinking about it, but most of the good ones, they find a way to put it aside. They're not happy about it by any stretch of the imagination. They find a way to put it aside and continue to play their game.
Can he put it aside? Let's find out. Six yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. To throw, it's Wentz. This pass hauled in by Dotson. And they're able to work this across midfield to the 48.
But one of the ways the quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field. And here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
This is caught by his tight end, Logan Thomas. And he'll be brought down inside the 40-yard line.
So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there? Freezing the defense just enough to bring the tight end free downfield for the completion.
A final shot before half for Wentz. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And this one is incomplete.
The offense schemed going 5 wide, trying to create a chance for the big shot, and they took it. If he comes down with that one, that's a huge offensive swing. But credit the defense with a nice play, knocking that one away.
And now they'll take a timeout defensively. After the 2nd down play, they burn the timeout, making him sweat out the final few ticks here in the 2nd quarter. So with 1 second left in the half, on is the field goal unit. This will be from 56 yards out. And his kick is good. He got every bit of that one as it's good from 56 yards out. So we have reached halftime with our score 10-0. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman in our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. The Vikings set to receive the second half kickoff, and they trail it here as we resume play. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Charles, it'll be interesting to see what adjustments this offense made in the locker room. Haven't really been able to get anything going offensively, virtually nothing in the ground attack either. So certainly something has to change here in quarter three.
And I'm pretty sure their friends from the defensive side of the ball told them exactly that, because those guys, the stop troops, they've been playing pretty well. They've kept them around in this game. Now they got some time. The running game struggled in the first half. Opposition knows how to focus on defending the pass here. They've got to re-energize that ground game and maybe open things up for a comeback here in this half.
And his pass is intercepted for the fourth time today. Picked by Kendall Fuller. And the Commanders are going to get this back to their own 34-yard line.
And that has to be a little bit discouraging, because after all their halftime talk, adjustments, and points of emphasis, their first drive ends with an interception. Absolutely aggravating if you're a head coach, because you spent all that time, gone through every situation possible, and it still ends in a turnover.
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has, percentage completion-wise way up, not that time. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. And here's a give to Gibson. And he loses the football a second time.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. So possession still theirs, but now they face a third down. Wentz. That's going to be caught by Samuel. And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. 15 yards to pick up, first down Washington.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing, because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the third quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try to put the hammer down and finish this one off.
And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. When that ball popped free, we could hear it all the way up here. Those guys down on the field alerting everyone of the fumble. He's lucky that his offensive mates picked him up and jumped on it.
Yeah, and you have to think to yourself, and I'm sure they've been echoing it on the sideline and into the huddle. Guys, we have the lead. Just take care of the football. Don't make it easier for them to start to make a comeback.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Slings this deep from McLaurin. And at the 7-yard line, the catch is made. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. I tell you, when Carson Wentz can really step into one and get that 6'5" frame behind it, he can really launch it. Now a chance to make that big play really hurt. It's 1st and goal just outside the 5. Now Balaj. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 10-yard line. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
Well, we saw a lot of negative plays that resulted in plenty of lost yardage in the first half, and that trend is continuing here.
2 of their 3 red zone trips so far they've come up empty on. They'll look to reverse that trend on 2nd and goal. They'll stay on the ground. And he caught it up, and the Vikings pick up the football. And he'll go down inside the 15 at his own 13-yard line.
This drive didn't end well, but if they can keep stringing these together, they'll like what they're doing. That was an 8-play drive before it ended in a fumble. So the takeaway's got to be doing what we want to do and doing it well. Just got to take care of the ball at the end.
And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down.
Well, they still have time to get him established, but in my estimation, they've got to pick up the urgency here. They've got to get quickly in and out of the huddle and run off a bunch more plays.
from the 16. Cousins. Open right side, complete to Rager. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down.
Well, this is where reading defenses and practice time comes into play. Got to know what you're running versus zone versus man and how to run the proper route. And they just executed that one pretty well.
And some room to maneuver. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. It's a gain of 16, and the Vikings have the first down as well.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
They run again on first down. Cook. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on second down.
Getting had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. 8 yards the tally on that first down run. Here's second and 2. Cousins gives way to Cook, and he's stopped after a gain of 1. Not enough. Still a yard to go on third down.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is a force of nature at the defensive tackle position. Yes, he's as big as they come, but still plenty agile. He's able to make a nice play there to swallow up the ball carrier.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. A 10th carry in the game for Cook. And he's got enough for the first across midfield to the 48.
We ought to come up with a T-shirt and sell it that says, no indecision on 3rd and 1. And we didn't see it on that run, did we? Got his shoulders square, just got right into the line of scrimmage and picked it up.
Absolutely. Picked his lane, went with it, and converted. First down, here's the run with Cook. And he'll work down inside the 45.
I feel like I could see what he was thinking on that carry. Wanted to follow that big tackle through the hole. Ended up only getting 4 yards on the carry. I think he had designs on that one being bigger.
They'll try to throw now. Cousins. Hauled in over the middle by Rager. And they're going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at Washington's 21. 23 yards the pickup there.
But look what we have here, a sustained drive, and that was certainly AWOL in the first half. They really struggled to try and move the football. But right now, they certainly seem to have the formula working. Let's see if they can keep it up.
And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4. And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this third quarter. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. On second down, this is Madison. 7 yards on the pickup there, and now they've got it 1st and goal. What a game this defense continues to play, huh?
Yeah, they've been aggressive from the first snap, and they've controlled this ball game. But right now, if you're on the other side of the ball, you've got to match that aggressiveness. No points so far in this game. Moving the football, got to be that way to go against them and try and get some points on the board.
And I'm curious on the defensive side if they stay aggressive, because you know they want to pitch this shutout.
Yeah, they have to be aggressive, but they also have to be smart about it as well, because one mistake could turn into 6 points.
On 2nd and goal, Cousins rolling to his right. And he's going to be swallowed up and taken down. Sacked back at the 5-yard line.
Second goal, last thing you need to do is get pushed backwards to take a sack. But he can find a way to go with the football. He had to eat it and ended up on the ground.
A lot of tired bodies on that field, but this is a big play. 3rd and goal. Throwing is Cousins. This ball complete to Thielen going across the middle. Touchdown, Vikings. Adam Thielen with career touchdown number 60. And the Vikings have made it a one-score game again here in the fourth. Joseph connects on the extra point. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this fourth quarter. Now Joseph tees it up to kick off following the touchdown. And there will not be a return here. It's a touchback, and it'll come out to the 25-yard line. The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. Now, Charles, of course, you got to remember, last possession they fumbled. It led to a touchdown. One-score game here. Got to be careful.
And this is where coaching and training really comes into play, doesn't it? What does everyone say after an error? Next play, move on, next drive. That mantra has to come to the front. They got to take care of business right here and act like the last series just didn't happen.
On second down, here's Gibson again. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. He'll lose a yard on the play, so now they need 3 yards on third down.
Now, obviously, that's some good work there defensively, being able to stop them and bringing up a key third down. But if you're on the offensive side of the ball, there's an opportunity, because I know what defensive guys are thinking right now. Just stop them, get to the ball. That means they might not be sound defensively. There could be some opportunities.
And you said key third down. Highlight that word, put it in bold. Here we go. That is not going to be any help as they dump him behind the line of scrimmage. Here's Tressway now as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. Now a hit and a loose football inside the 20. And he gets it back into the end zone. It's a fumble recovery leading to a Washington touchdown. Slide for the PAT. It's good to make it 17-7. And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kicks away following that fumble return. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Their defense was able to force the punt. That's the good news. But this is still a 2-score game, and they need points on this drive and in a relatively quick manner.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
On second and 9, Cousins. That one into the hands of Thielen, complete. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. He had the touchdown earlier. This one's going to get him a first down.
This possession means so much for them. They've got to focus on this drive and find a way to make this a one-possession game.
Yes.
Got to get a score.
Yeah, so good with a field goal. Don't necessarily need a touchdown. And they went the wrong way there. Losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. They'll lose a yard there, and it's second and 11.
There's no question that coming into this game, this defense was pretty vocal about its desire to take this running back out of his game. And all that pregame whooping has turned into results.
Here's a pass swung out left to his running back. So back-to-back plays, each getting nothing. And they'll be facing a 3rd and 12.
Usually the offense has an answer to anything the defense throws out there, including a safety valve. And that's what they did on that play. They went there, but the defense still made an excellent play and held them to no gain.
The Vikings on 3rd down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This is 3rd down and 12. And the pressure too much that time as Cousins goes down. Pass rusher extraordinaire, D Ford that time, getting the sack. A rough couple of weeks for the man under center. 5 sacks last week, 4 now this week. Do you try to design some quicker developing plays if you're an offensive coordinator?
I think you do that. I think you also change his launch point at times. In other words, move your pocket to the right, to the left, roll him out, bootleg it. Do some different things so they can't just rely on the fact that he's going to take 3 to 5 steps back in the pocket and line up and throw the football.
Yeah, current formula is not working right now. On 1st and 10, it's Gibson. Nothing doing. Barely able to muster a yard to hit the 35. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all three still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts. And
keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning. And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. Picked off by Harrison Smith. 30. 10, 5, and he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. Still an important piece of business to take care of, the extra point. And this is up and good to make it a 17-14 game. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And this will not be returned. It's a touchback, and they'll begin at the 25. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. And this game not quite over yet. And we'll likely see them take all three timeouts defensively, so they can't just kneel this one out. They're going to have to try to run a few plays.
You're exactly right. They've got to get a first down and make them use up all their timeouts in order to feel like they have this one in hand.
I have to imagine this will be on the ground as well as they come up 2nd and 7. Oh, look at this. Wentz going to throw. Looking for Dotson, and he's got him. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. That hold coming from the left side of the line.
Hands got caught in the cookie jar on that one, and the flag came out. Penalty against him.
They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold. Shotgun handoff to Gibson. And he'll be marked down at the 26 with a gain of 7. Now the Vikings will use the second of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. They'll come to the line here needing 9 yards to pick up the first. Wentz to throw. Got an open man, finds Gibson. Antonio Gibson, touchdown. Antonio Gibson, 74 yards. And the Commanders use the big play to extend their 4th quarter lead. What a huge touchdown that was, obviously, here in the late stages of the 4th quarter as they try to put this one away.
And, Brandon, when they watch the film after this week, they'll be very proud of every rep if they close this game out. Just a few snaps remaining. They can't relax just yet.
Extra point by Sly is up and good. And his guys will take a 10-point lead. Washington kick team back out there now as they will send this one away. And not willing to risk another fumble, he'll sit on this one. It's a touchback. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Well, Charles, you remember their last drive. They went for it on 4th down, didn't get it, but you understand why they did in this close game late. Now, though, the road back is even tougher.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And it was fair to look back and say the 4th down was a moment where this one was decided. But as you mentioned, understandable about why they went for it. But, hey, a lot of credit to...
And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off by Jamin Davis. And this return is going to be halted right around the 28-yard line. Count them now, 6 interceptions between last week and this week. Now, the 3 picks last week helped them to a win. They're in the driver's seat once more.
And they're the ones that are doing all the leading, aren't they? Right? The 3 interceptions last week, that led to a victory. 3 interceptions so far in this game, that has them out in front. We often think of the offense driving things. In this case, it's the defense, not just holding teams, but creating big plays for themselves.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. On the counter, Gibson. And they've got it in the red zone now, down at about the 19. 60 yards on the ground for him so far. They'll run with Gibson. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a first and goal. No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the fourth quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score.
So a victory here for the Commanders. And it's going to be their defense that gets the ink in the headlines tomorrow. And for good reason. They forced 5 turnovers in this game.
And while we were watching this game unfold, I kept thinking about when we did our training camp tour. And something that you noticed along the way. Just about every camp we visited, when the defense got together, everyone was doing ball drills. Defensive linemen, linebackers, secondary, because they understood how vital it was to take the football away. And they wanted every opportunity. When the ball was knocked free, they want all those guys to be familiar with touching the ball so they could pick up the fumble or get the interception.